What's up, everybody? I'm the 80s Transformer fan, and in front of me I have a little black box. It is Titans Return Arcee, a Hasbro Con, then Hasbro Shop exclusive now. And Arcee is still sealed in the box, even though I took a peek inside already just to check it out. One of the Titan Masters was loose, rattling around in there. The box is very lackluster. There's Transformers going down the side. Nothing but the little legal jargon on the back, warning, and Transformers authentic logo in the back. Nothing at the bottom. So we're going to go right in, of course, get this thing open. And inside the box we have two file cards, one for Arcee, one for Ultra Magnus. Why she has an Ultra Magnus Titan inside, I don't know. Talk to that shortly. Here is a schematic of Arcee and Ultra Magnus there. It's sort of almost immediately, I can tell you that the inside of the box should have been the outside of the box and vice versa. And we unfold it, and this is what was loose. The reason why I already opened it up to see what was going on. The Ultra Magnus figure has one of the ties off of it. And dead in the center is artwork of Arcee doing like a little flip over. I don't know who that is, some Decepticon or maybe an Autobot firing a shot. And here is Titans Return Arcee exclusive figure packaged in the box. And at the bottom of her bubble you can see the little Autobot logo and Arcee there. Some instructions behind her. And I guess that's pretty much it. And, oh, there's, I guess, Blaster's head, Forge Max head, and I have no clue head. I don't know whose head that is. But the inside of the box is the most interesting part, and it almost, like I say, should have been reversed. I don't know if you can reverse it. Maybe you actually can if you worked at it. Oops, nope, just ripped it. So, no, you can't reverse it. So I'm going to get Arcee out of her packaging. Yeah, I would kind of be mad that I just ripped the packaging, but the fact that the inside is the best side and I'm not going to be displaying it open makes me not really care. Little zip tie on this guy. Ultra Magnus. Get to him in a second. He has some die cast in him. He's die cast. I did not know that. And he's not standing up. We're going to come over here to Arcee, and she has a boatload of zip ties. I know if you watch my review, you might wonder why didn't he just edit the unpackaging out, but that's my gimmick, it's my thing. I like to share the experience with my viewers. We're opening it together. This is our toy. We're going to check it out together. Yeah, a boatload of zip ties. Not zip ties, little ties. And every time I think I have them all, I never do. I think I got that one. There's a little one in here. And I see one at the waist. See if I can get her out. Okay, something is still holding her. I think maybe at the shoulder. I think I got the one at the waist. And she's still being held down. Wow, maybe I should have just pulled it off of the card. Anyway, her feet are free. Something over here on her arm is still. Oh, just popped their headmaster off. Down here, see it. Wow, I mean, they really put these things in. And she's packaged with two guns. Funny thing is, when we first saw Arcee in the '86 animated movie, she only had one gun. One of the cartoons, she only had one gun. But somehow, every incarnation, third party or otherwise, she's wielding dual pistols. And this version is no different. So, take this packaging, set it to the side. Pick Arcee up, and now this figure, from what I understand, is nothing but a straight repaint of Blur, and then the head is remolded from Titans Return Blur. I do not have Blur, but I have Brainstorm that was made off the same figure. I never got Blur because I kept saying I was going to buy the Japanese one because I like that color scheme better. But Haven't really been getting that deep into these guys where I bought any of the Japanese ones. Get her head back on. Head on! See, she has the front of the car on her arm packaged as the shield. I'm going to take her round handholds, rectangular peg guns, and get her holding her guns, which is weird. So I can get it in. I'm sure she does. Yep, she does. She holds it. Square peg and round hold. You're a genius. So there is Arcee holding the guns. Pretty sure. I don't remember. I see Blur in the store all the time. Never grabbed them because like I said, I don't like his color scheme. But she has the rounded shoulders that I don't think he has. So it's probably some remolding in the body as well. But she seems pretty solid. Legs are pretty stiff. The little ball pegs at the waist could be a little bit stiffer for my taste. And she's all decked out in pink and white. Little translucent cockpit there, just like Blur and Brainstorm. Turn it around. I know what this little kibble does now. This little kibble actually holds the shield. So you don't have to make it a parts former in robot mode to vehicle mode. You can just stay right there, or you can use this shield as it just was. The forearms are hollowed out, you can see, and her face sculpt is pretty good. It's better than I thought that it would have been. She has like a light pink on her face. My little view screen, I can't tell if it's picking it up that well. I can see it a little bit, but I definitely see it with my naked eye. She has blue eyes, has a little blue small paint app in her forehead. So yeah, she's pulling off. She has a nice little rounded head to be carrying around the square Titan Master on the back. And I'm going to get to articulation now, and it's pretty standard on all these figures. If you've seen my reviews, you watch these reviews, it's probably going to be completely boring for you. I'm really not thrilled to be doing it, but I do it just in case somebody want to see it. The head 360s when it's not popping out. The head 360s. Hers feels a little bit weird on mine. It has a little bit of a rocker in there. Most of these guys can look up a little bit and look down a little bit. She has just a little bit of movement, not much at all. Her shoulder is on a ball joint or some type of peg in there. It doesn't necessarily look like a ball joint from this angle. Get her arm up this far on the side. Get her looking over there shooting Decepticons to her left. Get her arm completely 360. She has a bicep swivel that will completely 360. She has an elbow bend. She can get her elbow up this far. I don't think it reverse bends because of the little part of her forearm here. Coming down to her waist, just like Brainstorm, she actually has a wrist swivel, and if she didn't have a gun in her hand, it should 360. Coming down to her waist, there's no ab crunch on these guys. I believe I haven't run across a guy with any ab crunch. And by the way, her shoulders don't go in and out. They just hinge up and down. But down back to her waist. Her waist 360. She has complete clearance for that. The hips are on that ball joint. They can all get into the splits. Everybody in the deluxe class can do this. And like here, her ball joints here are a little loose. It's not too bad. She has an upper thigh swivel here. She has a great knee bend, great knee joint there. And you come down to the foot, it's just a little bit up and down. It's probably because of transformation and her wheels are underneath here. So I'm pretty sure it's her transformation. And I'm going to get to, we'll take a look at her pistols. A little bit closer look at her pistols. There's nothing special to them. Obviously, they're pink plastic painted over gray, which I don't like when they do that. Pop it out her hand. Because what goes in her hand is still jutting out pink. And it's like, just give me some gray plastic. That way, don't have to worry about it scraping or chipping or bobbing off. But they sort of kind of look like the movie guns a little bit in the front mostly, but not in the back. And both guns are identical, so I'm not going to go over the other one. Oh, now to her Titan Master, her head and her Titan Master. Her Titan Master detaches. This is her face again, up close. Looks pretty good. It's a nice little sculpt there, some nice little detailing, and the front is actually die cast, which is pretty cool. So to transform her, you simply, or him, or whatever it is now, you simply unfold it and you're there. You swing this around, it's gotten twisted somewhere in since I've been handling it, and then there's just like a little dome. Now this is supposed to be Daniel, or it's Ladan, I can't even say it, Daniel spelled backwards, and not really much going on, just a little gray headpiece. And they could have left the damn thing all white, really, and maybe grayed the back, the little square part back here, because that looks, yeah, I'm not feeling that. Then he has like some gray paint apps on the legs, and that's almost like why. But this is supposed to be Daniel in his exo suit, and I can feel that. I see what they were trying to do, but yeah, just a bit outside. Yes, we have a little bit of a swing and a miss here, but this is supposed to be Daniel Leinad in exosuit, which the ideal is great. The ideal is great. When I first heard about the Titan Masters and they said Arcee, I was hoping they would do something like this. Just hoping they did it a little bit better. And here is, I guess she has a spearhead. She can be Ultra Magnus or whatever. Or you could take this and put it with the Ultra Magnus that came with the little driver thing, because Ultra Magnus supposed to have been dead in the Combiner Wars or whatever. And it doesn't look like Ultra Magnus. From what I understand, it's a repaint of what's supposed to be the Optimus Prime Titan Master. Looks nothing like Magnus to me. Maybe this will be the white cab Magnus. I don't know. And his chest is completely die cast, but the head is plastic. The arms are plastic. And to transform him, just fold the guy up, and turn him around, and we have Ultra Magnus. And I don't know if there's a comic book pushing this line, or a cartoon, or what, but at what point does Ultra Magnus' head fit on Arcee's body? Now we officially have the first cross-dressing Transformer ever. You know, because she's a woman, so he's pretty much a bot in a dress, almost, even though she's not wearing a dress or skirt piece. But we got our first official Hasbro cross-dressing Transformer. Da, 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 da. Yeah, no. Okay, so if you don't want your Ultra Magnus cross-dressing and you own the Combiner Wars version or the Takara version, you can bring an Ultra Magnus, which Arcee scales pretty great with. You pop off this head, and he came with a guy, Minimus Ambus or whatever, and Ultra Magnus was like destroyed, and Minimus Ambus was storyline controlling Ultra Magnus, which I never liked. So now you can take Ultra Magnus and place him in the seat inside of Ultra Magnus, and he can go back to being in charge of himself. If I can just get it to close up. Little guy slip down, get his feet in. Yeah, it always bugged me that somebody else, and I know the stories evolve and go on and eventually come full circle, but yeah, my Ultra Magnus is Ultra Magnus. He hasn't been destroyed. He's still in charge of himself. And it closes up just fine. He can go in there, and now we can take Leinad, or Daniel, transform it back into the Titan Master, Headmaster, whatever you prefer to call it. And this review is going to be Titan Master for now. And there's Arcee Ultra Magnus. Alright, now to get Arcee transformed, I'm going to remove her guns. If I could, should be able to remember, because I just did this review on a figure based on this mold. Fold the feet up. Slap the legs together. Flip the little hand shields down. C comes up. Oh. Unfold the legs so they can collapse inside. We'll take the waist. Get in there. Put these back. There's little ports for arms to tab into. So far this little mold looks a lot better on her than it does on Brainstorm. And I like Brainstorm. Just pop the peg out and it's not staying in. I don't think I got it to snap back, but it is not staying in. There it is. Got to snap. These in here. Trying to get it to peg into her arms underneath. Alright, I got it all tabbed in, at least I think so, and here she is. I think this is my first official female Transformer. I'm trying to think in my mind. I didn't get the, was it Generations Arcee and Chromia, I think it was. I kept saying I was going to get the Japanese version of those and never got around. It's a lot easier just picking off the shelf. And when you decide you're going to sit there and order something, you tend to get more grand ideals and kind of leave the other figures behind. So I never got the official Arcee, but I have an Arcee that I want to bring out, that I'm going to bring out. But here she is in vehicle mode. Giant Autobot logo there. And I'm actually a fan. A lot of people don't like when they get real big with it. But I'm a fan of the giant Autobot logo as long as it's well done. It's done in a white paint underneath, atop the pink plastic. And they tried to stay faithful to some of the stylings of Arcee. But you can still clearly see that it's mostly blur. I don't even own blur, but I can see that it's blur. Other than the hands underneath, it's pretty clean under there. It has some hollowing, but you know that's what they do. But you can clearly see the arms and the hands, which is kind of a bummer underneath. But you're not really looking underneath a lot. Come around to the back of the vehicle, has her little boosters back here painted gray. And where the white is over the pink, there's some bleed there, which I don't like. And in any instance where they can actually add two different types of plastic, I'm for that. I think they should have went with white and then the other places painted it pink, as opposed to the way they have it. But I don't work at Hasbro, and she has like the little gap. I was told that you could close this better between the windshield and the seat, but obviously I still haven't learned how. Someone told me, said it in the comments for my Brainstorm review, but I don't know. I think that's about as far as it goes. I believe so, because I don't use instructions. Maybe I should, but no instructions. And it's a pretty good, convincing little Cybertronian car mode. Rolls pretty good. My surface is not that even, but she has the clearance to get the rolling done. And most of the time, these guns peg in vehicle mode, and she can get them just on the side here and here. It looks as if just smashed the windshield. Did it could peg in here? I don't know. And no, but she can get her guns on the side of the car here. And we can take Leinad, Daniel, whoever this guy is. See if we can get his hands up a little bit. The little plastic and die cast figure. And sit him in the little pilot seat, driver's seat. And he doesn't want to sit down. I need to bend his legs, double bend his legs in a proper sitting position. Like that. And now he's in there with his Cobra Commander looking head. Death job. Arcee, let's go. Yeah. And here's Arcee with her Titan Master on board. I thought I wasn't gonna like this figure this much. It appealed to me because not only was Arcee, but at first it was the HASCON exclusive, which is where this thing came from. A friend of mine, Josh, picked it up while he was there. Thank you, Josh, for grabbing this for me. And then he kept telling me, when are you gonna review that thing, man? You could have been reviewed, been ahead of a lot of the reviewers. And I'm like, working on it, getting around to it. But thank you, Josh, for picking this up for me. I really appreciate it. And I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I do, but it's pretty cool. I thought it was going to be just too much of the blur look. But she is actually pretty cool. And my first official female Transformer that I can think of. I probably remember after I did the review, like, oh, I got two already. Nope, my first official female my first official female figure was Transformers Prime's Arcee, and I have two of those. I have the Beast Hunters and I have the standard version. So yeah, I knew it would come to me that I had some female officials somewhere. But anyway, like I said, I don't have any official G1 styled Arcees, but I do have this one. This is a third party, meant to be G1 take on Arcee. I can't think of who the heck. I once had the Impossible Toys version. I can't think of who makes it. And though I have the box right here. This is the box, MGT01 limited collection, but I can't, and this is supposed to be like mimic the G1 box. But I can't remember the name of the company that actually makes this dang on thing. And I remember thinking, I thought maybe they would continue making these guys, but all we got was a green medic version of this and this. But anyway, I'm rambling on, which I'm trying not to do so much anymore. Here are the two side by side, and then again, this is meant to be more G1-ish. It could be a little bit better. It's a lot smaller. And this is pretty much, other than Beast Hunters and Beast Wars, the only one I have to compare her with. So this is the little comparison section of what I have for this figure. And also one more. All right, to bring in more of an official comparison, I got my Brainstorm figure I recently reviewed. Bring these guys up side by side. And the front ends are totally different. We don't start getting to the same figure until we get to the mid part of the arms. The canopy, the seat, of course, and the back of the vehicle is completely the same, though he has wings sticking out to the side. Back of the vehicle, very, very much like Blur, which is what these guys are a retool of. And this is my official vehicle comparison. Moving the unofficial out of here. And here are these two figures side by side. Alright, I got everybody back in robot mode so we can give them a quick look in comparison. By the way, this is Delicate Warrior, MTG Delicate Warrior. I think the company goes by another name, but she was called Delicate Warrior, Arcee, or not Arcee, Delicate Warrior. But here's Brainstorm, here's Arcee. These two are based on the blur mode for Titan's Return, and she's obviously the third party figure that I was mentioning. And this is how they scale and compare side by side in robot mode. I'm going to set her off to the side for a second, and we're going to look at these two modes as they compare. Obviously the canopy has a little bit more paint on it, and then her paint, while I'm at it, is not that good. If you look around the top of her shoulder, her paint, because the white is sprinkled everywhere where they should have used a little bit more white plastic. It doesn't look good in some places if you can see it. Like, it just could have been done better. And by this being an exclusive piece, you think they would have tried like a little harder on it, where it's like nicked and scraped and just not done that well. It's not bad, but you would expect more from an exclusive piece. Some of these guys are done even better, because they just opted for the difference in the plastic. Like they could have just did the feet in white and just left this whole piece pink, or just did it in all white. But obviously it could have been done better. But back to the comparison, how they look in this mold. Arms molded different. The canopy and chest piece is painted different. The crotch is the same. The legs down to the knees are the same. Matter of fact, the legs all the way down are exactly the same. They just have the paint apps bringing out the little molded detail better than over here. And again, I'm sorry I don't have blur to compare it to, but I think Arcee pulls off a pretty cool look out of this blur mode. When I first saw it, I was like, they should have used another mold, and maybe they still could have, but it's a lot better in hand. And I know reviewers say that a lot, but this figure is a lot better in hand than I've seen on the reviews or on the little images. And I have the canopy stuck to the back. I transformed it, never took it off in the transformation, never fell off, but again, it comes off if you do not desire that. But she originally had some back kibble anyway. On the cartoon, she was wearing the hood of the car on her back, just like this version. And I'm not sure, this was always my favorite version of Arcee since I had it. And I'm not sure which one is my favorite. Definitely like this pink better. But I still like this little sculpt, the more G1 sculpt. And I know this is Titans Returns. It's not supposed to be G1. I get it. But this figure is a lot better than I thought. And I think it's worth the price. I think it's still available on HASBROShop.com if anyone is interested in it. She has 2 Titan Masters. Again, I don't understand why, but I'm not turning down extra stuff. And they're die cast. Like the face on this guy is die cast, and her actual face. All right, real quick, here she is next to Titans Return Cup and Hot Rod, sort of completing a little set. I have a Springer. I had a Generation Springer, and they released them again in a pack with these guys, but I never opened it, and I wasn't going to open it to stick it back here. I'm not saving it for any particular thing. I just haven't gotten around to opening that thing. But and where is Magnus? But anyway, here she is next to Cup and Hot Rod. Man, it's funny the things that go on behind the scenes in toy review. That's how they look, how they scale together. She's a little bit smaller than these guys where she should be. I'm not sure how that works with blur, but pretty cool figure. I think she's worth the pickup, especially if you're doing a Titans Return thing and you're collecting the guys. She has a little special extra headmaster. The headmasters are the Titan Masters are die casted. And she's all right. Not the greatest figure, but she's worth picking up, definitely. And I am George, the 80s Transformer fan. I hope you liked the toy review. I hope it wasn't too disconjointed. And I'll see you soon.